Hey everyone, I'm really trying to make this work. I wanted to make a video earlier today, but there were a few people over, so I didn't have the opportunity. I am 6 weeks pregnant today, which is awesome, considering I've had a bit of a harrowing week. I did actually have a scare. The last time I made a video was on 5 weeks and 2 days, and I did the separate belly shot. And after that I had to run up because we had people over for a little, belated New Year's dinner, and literally about an hour after I made that video I started to have a little bit of spotting. It wasn't anything bad, but it's still jarring, and that's not something any pregnant woman ever wants to see. Oh, by the way, sorry if you hear music in the background. One of my brothers-in-law or my father-in-law is playing music. Anyway, it was very, very light pink, but I was distraught and ended up really not having it in me to socialize for the rest of the evening. I just wanted to hold myself up and cry, and that's pretty much what I did. I got some sleep, and the next day I was still spotting, but it was no longer pink, it was brown, which is good because that indicates that it's either slowing down or it's old blood. And my mother-in-law, who is a midwife, examined me, and she said she thought I was okay, especially because I wasn't having any cramping. The next day, the bleeding had completely stopped, but I decided to go into the early pregnancy assessment unit at our local hospital to have an early ultrasound just to check. So I was 5 weeks and 4 days at this point. I had an internal scan, an intravaginal ultrasound. I forget the actual issue of the machine. It wasn't a super up-to-date one, but it wasn't a really ancient machine either. And the consultant, obstetrician, who acted as sonographer was really lovely, and he dated me as about in my 5th week, which was good. The gestational sac was visible, as was the yolk sac, both of which are excellent things. He didn't mention any sign of bleeding, but he also didn't think that I was miscarrying. Also very, very reassuring. That made me happy. The only thing is that the embryo wasn't visible. At first this sounds like a major red flag, but considering that I was only in my 5th week, it's not, because the fetal pole and the rest of the embryo is not always visible in the 5th week on an ultrasound. So I'm going in again on the 14th for a follow-up scan, at which point the fetal pole and possibly the heartbeat should be visible. So that scan will test for viability. I felt fine, touch wood, I've not had any more spotting, I've not had any cramping. For a couple days my husband and I laid off sex and I didn't exercise, but since things have been stable again for a couple of days, working out again, and everything's good. What else? I think I mentioned in my last video, the 5-week update in the park, that I might be feeling the first, I guess the first indications of morning sickness. All it is that when I wake up in the morning, if I don't have something to drink and something to eat within 10 or 15 minutes, I'll start to feel really queasy and faint. But as long as I get a little bit of something in, I'm fine. Last night I had my first food aversion, which were to green beans, and I'm usually not a huge fan of green beans anyway, but I can stomach them. I love broccoli, I love kale, I love bok choy. I'm a big vegetable fan, but I've never really enjoyed green beans. Whereas I can usually eat them, even though I don't enjoy them. I could not manage them last night, and I just, put them on my husband's plate, and he finished them for me. So yeah, that was my first real food aversion. Even just thinking about them now is making my stomach turn a bit. I seem to be getting really, really hungry late at night. Like, as soon as my husband and I get in bed, my stomach starts to growl, and it'll keep me awake. Last night I had to get up out of bed and have a little piece of bread, and that made me feel better, and I went back to sleep. And it also helped this morning because I didn't experience queasiness so quickly this morning, so I think having a little bit to eat before turning in is a good idea. Yeah, it helped me get to sleep, and it helped me in the morning. What else is going on? Yeah, I'm halfway through the first trimester now. That's really awesome. Time seems to be crawling, but also flying by at the same time. This is going to be an anxious week for me because I'm waiting for my follow-up ultrasound. I have a feeling that everything's fine, so I am feeling optimistic. I haven't been craving citrus fruit, but I'm really enjoying citrus fruit. Tangerines and oranges, I'm enjoying them if they're really, really especially tart and tangy. I'm loving lemons. That seems to have been one of the first indications of my pregnancy, is that I need to squeeze like half the juice of a lemon into my glasses of water when I drink, and I'm still doing that, so we're making a lot of runs to the market for lemons. And I ate a grapefruit yesterday, and it tasted so good. It was like, tasted like the best grapefruit I've ever had, and I'm sure it wasn't the best grapefruit I've ever had, but just because that's really what my body's enjoying right now. That's what I want. Anything tangy, like vinegar, salt and vinegar crisps and vinegar on chips, I'm loving. Can't get enough of sour, salty stuff, and I think the sourness and tart qualities of citrus are satisfying that craving. Last night I got, sorry, it's cold in here. I got a bit queasy after dinner, and the only thing that seemed to help was about a quarter of a glass of Pepsi, Pepsi Max, and wasn't my first choice of things to drink, but I really wanted something fizzy, and cola is so soothing on the stomach, so I had a little bit of that, and it calmed my stomach down right away. I've cut out all soda and caffeine since discovering I'm pregnant, so I'm not going to make a regular habit out of that. I think just investing in some mineral water or seltzer is going to be the way to go. I've switched my tea to decaf, and I have some decaf coffee now, but I'm not drinking that every day because it does contain trace amounts of caffeine, and even though it is okay really to have up to 200 to 300 I believe milligrams of caffeine a day, it's still best to avoid it because it's, helps your stomach to avoid caffeine. Other than that, I lost 2 of the 5 holiday pounds that I put on, so that's really good. So that puts my weight gain at 3 pounds so far. That's still a little bit more than what I've wanted to gain at this point, seeing as I'm a little bit overweight anyway. 3 pounds would have really been the optimal weight for me to gain in the first trimester. So I've been given the okay to lose another couple pounds if I want to in the first trimester. It wouldn't do any harm. I'm not, dieting or exercising really heavily, but I am curbing my calories a little bit, just to make sure my weight gain levels off, because it'll do me more harm than good to let myself go, obviously. And yeah, I think that is pretty much it for my 5th week so far. The spotting scare was really the major event, but that seems to have been just one of those things. My guess is that because the blood vessels in the cervix enlarge and become more sensitive during pregnancy, that they could have been irritated somehow, or it could have been a small hematoma, who knows. All of my nursing classmates, I've told a few of my close classmates about the pregnancy, and they're all really excited. I am a doula, so as this is, it's not my first pregnancy, but it's my first baby. It's a whole other story that I might go into at some point. It's gonna help me as a doula, because, you know, as you can be as educated as possible. I have nursing education, and, you know, I'm gonna be a midwife in a few years. You know, there's really nothing can give you that depth of knowledge quite like having the experience yourself. So all of the women that I attend, I'll have a deeper connection with them now, so that's really awesome. I mean, in the UK, you don't have to be a mother or have been pregnant in order to be a doula. I know some places in the US you have to. Here you don't, but it's obviously puts you in an advantage. So that makes me happy. I might do a video on nursing and midwifery education in the UK. As an American and, you know, doing my training here and living here, it's been an interesting experience. It's very different from the US, obviously, because the medical system is different. Yeah, so I'll make a separate video about that. I'll show you guys my belly, and then I'll talk to you, I guess, next week or after my ultrasound. Ooh, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Okay. Sorry, I'll try to fit in here. I'm wearing pink to make it easier for you guys to see me. I'm very, very bloated. Hair out of the way. No. See me? I can't really see the screen at the moment. There's from the front, from the side. Sorry, the lighting is so bad. Side. There's not much room in here. Yes, we are still unpacking. The other side, starting to get a little more of a bump here. A lot of that's just pudge, but less and less. Move this back a bit might help. Yeah. The lighting is so harsh, I'm sorry. I should have done this just tomorrow, but I wanted to be on time. From the front. From one side. There. The other side. If you can see at all. Yeah. My waist is getting a bit thicker, and when I suck in, hold in my stomach, it comes in up here, but my lower abdomen, it really doesn't make much of a difference. And I'm sorry you can't really see due to the horrible lighting, and I'm like trapped by the chair. Oh yeah, my boobs are huge. The sleep bras I have been an absolute godsend. Awesome. Okay guys, so yeah, talk to you when I get to week 7. Bye.